5 centuries ago, a defeated man reflected in solitude. Niccolo Machiavelli, once a diplomat of Florence, had fallen into disgrace. Falsely accused of conspiracy, he was imprisoned, tortured, and banned from public office. He seemed condemned to oblivion. Yet from this abyss was born a legacy that would endure for generations, a book feared and revered to this day, known as The Prince. For years Machiavelli stood before popes, kings, and generals. He observed the brutal game of power and human reactions under extreme pressure. After losing everything, he began to see the world as a chessboard. It was in this state that he wrote his masterpiece. Contrary to what many believe, it was not flattery to the powerful, but a secret manual of survival. Few realized that The Prince was born as vengeance, a disguised text misinterpreted for centuries, but which hid something beyond political advice, a code of respect and inviolability. Have you ever wondered why some command authority effortlessly, while others, even in high positions, are ridiculed? The answer lies in Machiavelli's hidden rules. This code was never openly taught. Those who mastered it preferred to hide it to avoid rivals. Today, you will learn the 7 laws that turn ordinary people into respected figures. But beware, this knowledge is not for everyone. If you need to be loved at all costs, you may not be ready. Machiavelli discovered that being feared is safer than being loved. This is not cheap manipulation, but self-preservation. In a world where naivety is exploited and weakness punished, these laws act as an invisible shield. While you listen, thousands already apply these techniques in meetings, negotiations, and even personal relationships. They do not reveal them, they simply practice them. The choice is yours. Remain vulnerable or learn the code of respect. Machiavelli summed it up in one phrase: it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But how to put this into practice without falling into hatred? How to build a presence no one dares to disrespect? The first law is emotional scarcity. Those who distribute emotions excessively lose value. Each reaction must be rare, controlled, intentional. He wrote, "Men judge more with their eyes than with their hands." This means your posture, gaze, and silence communicate more than speeches. Speak only with purpose, smile only when genuine. It is not coldness, but strategy. Those who make every gesture valuable gain magnetism. Gradually, everyone learns to respect your emotional economy. The second law is the paradox of visible virtue. You do not need to possess all virtues, only appear to have them. Unlimited compassion can be seen as weakness. Brutal honesty may create unnecessary enemies. Apply selectivity. Display integrity and competence, but conceal plans and vulnerabilities. Those who are strategic with their virtues inspire respect without being exploited. The third law is calculated unpredictability. Fixed patterns make you predictable and easy to manipulate. Machiavelli said, "A prince must adapt according to fortune in the modern world." This means breaking social routines. If you usually agree, disagree. If you talk too much, stay silent. If you are reserved, surprise. Uncertainty creates caution and strengthens inviolability. The fourth law is strategic silence. Respected leaders speak less, listen more, and never reveal everything. Ambiguity generates uncertainty. Uncertainty generates respect. In crises, your calm attracts attention. In meetings, silence increases the weight of your words. Stop justifying yourself. Stop exposing insecurities. Strategic silence projects more strength than any long speech. These 4 laws form the foundation of necessary reputation. However, applied without nuance, they can lead to error, being feared for the wrong reasons. Machiavelli warned, "If you cannot win love, avoid hatred." Respect comes not from terror, but from clarity of limits. The goal is protection, not cruelty. It is in this balance that power is sustained. The 5th law is inevitable consequence. True respect arises when everyone knows crossing your boundaries will bring a response. No need to threaten, only act consistently. If interrupted, stop speaking. If someone is late, start without them. If mocked, do not laugh. Hold your gaze and move on. Small, consistent consequences build an aura of inviolability. The 6th law is the economy of favors. Easy help loses value. Selective favors build loyalty. Machiavelli noted, "Men forget the death of their father sooner than the loss of their inheritance." Be strategic with your time. When helping, do it thoroughly and let others feel its weight. Do not say it was nothing. Value your contribution. Learn to say no. The 7th law is silent authority. Respected leaders do not announce power all the time. They choose rare and decisive moments to act. It is not about grandeur, but precision. Gradually, a reputation forms that precedes your actions. People expect excellence from you before you even act. This anticipation generates unshakable trust and respect. These 7 laws form a complete code. But there is one more key: selective reversibility. The true master knows when to suspend their own rules. Showing genuine vulnerability at the right moment does not weaken you, it strengthens you. Extraordinary generosity, when rare, is not seen as submission, but as greatness. This conscious alternation turns respect into fascination. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince must appear humane, upright, religious, ... but know how not to be when necessary." This ability to shift between firmness and flexibility is what separates a common practitioner from a master of power. This balance creates irresistible magnetism. The mystery of being firm and gentle at once creates automatic respect. But there is a price. Sacrificing immediate approval to gain lasting respect. Many prefer to be moderately accepted by many than deeply respected by a few. Those who choose Machiavelli's path find solid and consistent allies. He said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few know what you are." True power demands tolerating temporary misunderstandings. Deep respect attracts people who value integrity, discipline, and boundaries. You do not build a crowd of flatterers, but a circle of loyal allies. This type of connection is rarer and more valuable. Universal love is fragile. Selective respect is enduring. This is the essence of the code, abandoning superficial approval to gain genuine authority. Machiavelli warned against a fatal mistake. Do not confuse being feared with being hated. Healthy fear is respect that sets limits. Hatred arises from abuse. The code requires balance. Your consequences must be consistent, not cruel. Your limits firm, not aggressive. This is the principle of protected compassion, maintaining humanity without giving up defense. Think of your compassion as a garden protected by walls. You hold the key to the gate. You decide who enters and when. This way, your kindness flourishes without being exploited. This strategic protection preserves your empathy and prevents exhaustion. True strength is not eliminating sensitivity, but shielding it. Be generous by choice, firm with boundaries. The final summary is direct. It is not about choosing between being loved or feared, but creating conditions to be both, on your terms. Machiavelli wrote, "The best fortress is not to be hated. The code is not manipulation, but clarity. Not domination, but self-preservation." It is internal discipline that manifests outwardly as automatic respect. By applying the 7 laws, you transform how you act and how you are seen. You cease to be hostage to opinions and become the architect of your presence. You move from reactive to creator of circumstances. This is true anti-fear, not eliminating fear, but mastering yourself so completely that fear no longer has power over you. Machiavelli wrote in a letter, "I learned to be constant in adversity, and it does not frighten me, but strengthens me." This is the legacy: self-mastery instead of despair, clarity instead of naivety. It is not about manipulating others, but freeing yourself from manipulation. The less you need approval, the more naturally it comes. This is the powerful paradox. He compared fortune to a devastating river. In fury it sweeps away houses and trees. But in calm times, prudent men build dikes and dams. Life is the same. Build limits before the storm arrives. When it comes, you will be ready. Unshakable in crisis, protected against abuse, respected by those who matter, feared by opportunists. That is why you must strengthen yourself now. Set boundaries, practice strategic silence, use favors wisely, preserve virtues, surprise when needed. Machiavelli's code is not about creating tyrants, but about protecting your essence in a world that exploits naive kindness. It is a tool of clarity and liberation. Those who apply it discover, the more it comes. This is anti-fear, not absence of fear, but presence of inner mastery. Not coldness, but discipline. Not isolation, but selectivity. It is creating an invisible field that protects your essence. It is the courage to sacrifice momentary popularity to gain lasting respect. It is living on your own terms, shielded from manipulation and exploitation. When you apply these laws, in meetings your pauses create expectation. In negotiations, your unpredictability generates caution. In relationships, your emotional scarcity makes every gesture valuable. In competitive environments, your silent authority builds a reputation that arrives before you. From these practices emerges true presence, respected, feared, and admired. The deepest transformation happens within you. External respect becomes a reflection of inner self-mastery. You no longer depend on others' approval to feel complete. You do not fear criticism or praise because you do not need them. This is Machiavellian liberation, controlling your emotions so fully that nothing external can shake your stability. This inner state is more valuable than any title. You become free from emotional manipulation, no longer hostage to those who use flattery or insults as weapons. Anti-fear is mental discipline, clarity of presence, and serenity. It is silent power born within and radiating outward. This is Machiavelli's true code. With Machiavelli's code, your social life changes. In meetings, your pause creates expectation. In negotiations, your unpredictability prevents manipulation. In relationships, your emotional scarcity adds value to your presence. In competitive environments, your silent authority builds a reputation before you arrive. Power is not about controlling others, but mastering yourself in public. The internal transformation is the foundation of everything. External respect is a reflection of self-mastery. You do not fear losing approval because you do not need it. You do not fear criticism because it does not define you. This state of freedom is rare. Few are willing to pay the price of giving up superficial acceptance for lasting respect. Those who apply this code gain something greater than influence. Psychological independence. You stop being hostage to the social game and become a conscious player. You stop depending on others' instability and begin acting with serenity. This is liberation, not about controlling everyone, but about never being controlled by anyone again. The silent power that comes from this inspires trust. People respect your firmness, but also seek your protection. Your presence becomes a safe harbor in stormy seas. You do not need to beg for attention. It comes naturally. You do not need to shout commands. A look is enough. This is the invisible authority Machiavelli described, resonating to this day. But remember, the goal is not to be hated. Machiavelli warned, the best fortress is not to stir resentment. True strength is being inviolable, not cruel. It is commanding respect without abusing. It is applying consequences without being unjust. This balance keeps your reputation solid, without openings for enemies who could exploit resentment against you. This wisdom is an invitation to emotional maturity. You no longer need to prove anything to anyone. Your consistency speaks for you. Your discipline conveys trust. Your selectivity creates value. This is the essence of true leadership, not conquering superficial crowds, but forming a small, solid circle of deep respect and unshakable trust. Anti-fear is this freedom, not living in search of acceptance, but in certainty of your own strength. It is applying silence when everyone talks, firmness when everyone hesitates, flexibility when everyone clings to patterns. It is adapting without losing essence. This is the art of being both lion and fox, with absolute clarity. By applying the 7 laws, you build invisible walls that protect your integrity. You become immune to manipulations by those who use flattery or criticism as weapons. You stop reacting on impulse and begin acting with purpose. This is true power, not about controlling circumstances, but about never being controlled by them. Machiavelli wrote, "Where there is great power, there is great responsibility." This power is not an end in itself, but a means to create a reality where you can live your highest values. Anti-fear is not arrogance, but clarity. Not cynicism, but lucidity. It is the ability to act without depending on external instability, guided by internal discipline. And now, you have 2 options. Continue adrift in seas of social predators, or take command of your destiny. Keep begging for approval, or gain automatic respect. Be manipulated by others' games, or dictate your own rules. The code is revealed. The next step does not depend on Machiavelli, but only on you. If this content awakened something in you, share it. In doing so, you become part of a chain spanning 5 centuries, passing wisdom from master to apprentice. Each person who learns this code ceases to be easy prey and becomes a fortress. By spreading this message, you strengthen not only your journey, but that of others around you. And remember, the journey does not end here. The next lesson is already available. Click the card and discover it. But first, comment, which of the 7 laws will you apply first? Your response will be the first step to consolidating this code in your life. Do not just listen, practice. Power lies not in knowing, but in applying. Machiavelli's 7 laws are more than social strategy. They are a map to personal liberation. With them, you create a protected space to live virtues without being exploited. You become inviolable, yet humane. Strong yet just. This is the synthesis of anti-fear. The courage to live on your own terms, shielded and free. Now imagine your life transformed. In every meeting, your posture imposes silence. In every negotiation, your unpredictability intimidates. In every relationship, your emotional control elevates your presence. Gradually, everyone notices. You are no longer vulnerable to manipulation. You are a reference. This is the real change. Respect earned and silent power consolidated. This power does not seek to dominate, but to protect. It does not exist to create empty fear, but to impose consistent respect. It is a state where you can exercise compassion without being exploited, generosity without being drained, and vulnerability without being attacked. This is the balance that makes Machiavelli's code timeless. Clarity on when to yield and when to resist. By living according to these laws, you do not attract superficial crowds, but people who respect your essence. Lasting alliances form around those who inspire trust. True respect builds solid bonds, more valuable than any fleeting applause. This is the difference between instant approval and lasting legacy. Machiavelli taught to choose legacy, but the true conquest is internal. Anti-fear does not mean absence of feelings, but absolute control over them. It means not reacting impulsively, not depending on external approval, and not fearing judgment. You become your own master, shielded from manipulation and ready to face any environment without losing your essence. This state of self-mastery creates a magnetic presence. Wherever you are, everyone perceives your calm confidence. No need to raise your voice or impose aggressively. Your quiet firmness inspires caution and automatic respect. This is the invisible authority built with discipline, consistency, and clarity of purpose. Over time, this posture generates not only respect, but also influence. People seek your guidance, trust your decisions, and recognize your worth without you constantly proving it. This is the difference between those who beg for attention and those who naturally receive it. Machiavelli's code teaches you to be that solid reference. Now the choice is yours. Continue living vulnerable to opinions and external manipulation, or take control of your presence and earn true respect. Anti-fear is not a passing trick. It is a way of life. Once applied, it transforms your relationships, strengthens your identity, and frees you from the need to please everyone. This is the final call. Practice the 7 laws, experience their power, and witness the change around you. Comment below which one you will apply first, and share this video with those who need this message. Subscribe now, and join the chain of transformation. The power is in your hands, and the time to use it is today.